take a bow. Sykes, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He gets his first Bristol City goal. Oh, goodness me. Andy Vyman.
The Hawthorns, the first football ground to be opened in the 20th century, and at 168 metres, it's the highest ground above sea level of all the Premiership and Football League clubs. But as Nigel Pearson's men arrive in West Brom after the 87-mile journey from Bristol, our thoughts turn to what may lay ahead. Let's hope it's more of last week's midweek action against Preston North End rather than the events from the weekend. Welcome to Robins TV, live from our studio here at Ashton Gate. Joining me for this one is professional development phase coach Neil Swift. Neil, Tim closer in the week said that the Hawthorns is a tough place to go, but after a turbulent start and the sacking of a manager, can we take advantage today?
You'd hope so, but it also can be a lift for the opposition as well. They're having a new manager, everyone's playing for a place, so they come out a little bit refreshed and rejuvenated. So it's a flip of a coin. It could go both ways if we're honest. What's
the mood been like at the HPC in the last sort of few days?
Personally, I'd say it's been a positive place. 9 times out of 10 it is. Like I say, based on the PDP side of it, very positive, where we're doing well, but the interaction we're having with the first team staff and the gaffer, everything's always positive. So yeah, nothing changes really. It's that's the best bit of football. You can always look to the next game and make it right.
The Championship is sort of unforgiving, isn't it? It's literally hit after hit after hit. So what's the recovery going to be like for the boys to go on such a short turnaround?
Well, it is. It's relentless, and that's why it is such a hard league to compete for. You'll hit highs, lows, but it's just getting the players in. Like I said, we had a lot of injuries after the weekend, a lot of blood injuries, so it's basically getting them back on the grass or in the gym, get them to basically recover and go again. That's all we can look to do.
I remember our commentator Dan on Saturday saying that Prox was more like, a cut man in boxing rather than a physio. So how are the boys? Have you seen how they've been progressing?
Well, they're out in the grass. We watched them because we've had a few of the 23/21s going up and training with them. So we've watched the tail end of the training when we finished our session. And like I say, everyone seems in a positive place. So I'd say it is a positive place.
Certainly positive for the under-21s. We'll talk about those
a
little bit later on, Swifty. Thanks so much. All right, so team news is in from the Hawthorns. So let's find out who's been picked for this one. Probably the worst golfer in the world. Toby Osborne taking you through the details.
You're not wrong. Thank you very much, Downsy. Well, West Brom come into this one having beaten Reading at the Select Car Leasing Stadium on Saturday under the interim care of their manager Richard Beale. Back-to-back clean sheets for them. They start with a highly experienced back three, including former Liverpool man Martin Kelly and 34-year-old ex-Netherlands international Eric Peters. More experienced too in midfield, ex-England international Jake Livermore partners academy graduate Gardner Hickman. And then up front, summer signing ex-Millwall man Jed Wallace and Dean Garner flank young striker Thomas Asante, who has scored 2 goals so far this season since joining from Salford City. John Swift is on the bench tonight for the Baggies, summer signing from Reading, who had a quite remarkable season last year, assisting 13 goals from midfield and scoring 11. Bristol City, the manager tonight makes a double change. Vyman and Conway drop out. Nigel Pearson will explain that decision shortly. In comes Matty James to sit alongside Joe Williams in midfield. It also means Naki Wells is in a front two tonight alongside Semenyo as well. It looks as though it's to be a more attacking role for Alex Scott in the pocket behind the strikers, perhaps the position he's always been destined to play for the first team. And the back five remains as it was on Saturday. Thomas Callas is on the bench again. He hasn't quite managed to force his way back into a starting berth as of yet, and a pretty formidable bench as well. Vyman, Martin, Conway and King among the replacements this evening. OK, time to head pitchside now to the Hawthorns. Dave Barton is with Nigel Pearson.
Nigel, let's start with the team news. Naki Wells, top scorer in the league, back in. Antoine, we know how dangerous he is. Yeah. How much are you looking forward to that combination?
Well, I think it's just time to try and freshen things up. Andy's been brilliant for us over such a long period of time. he might benefit from being rested, in fact, you know, in the sense of starting, and it can have a big impact for us off the bench. Yeah, it's we need to get something out of the game tonight, and hopefully making one or two changes will encourage us to get something out of the game.
Matty James is back. You've named him captain. How important will his experience and his quality be?
Look, it's always difficult to evaluate players when they're absent, or the qualities that we miss as a side. But obviously, Matty does have vast experience, and hopefully he can steady it in there for us a bit tonight.
Aside from the well-documented errors from Saturday, what are you looking for in terms of your team tonight?
Well, look, I just want us to go and understand what we need to do to win the game. We know what they're about. They are, you know, they had a good win at Reading at the weekend. They were very aggressive with their pressing. So clearly they want to try and up their tempo of how we play. I think tonight we've got to be patient at times. We've got to utilise the width more than we have done in recent games too. And yeah, the front two have got to be ready to work when we don't have the ball. But if they do that, they could create some really good chances for themselves tonight as well.
Nigel Pearson chatting to Dave Barton there up with the Hawthorns. Come on then, Swifty, thoughts on the team?
Big changes. Like I say, he's got his mindset on what he's done, and hopefully the changes will bring in that little bit of good fortune that we require. I think it's a little bit more experience, maybe. In
terms of formation, how it's all going to lay out, how do you see it playing out tonight?
If we look after the ball, move the ball well, beat the press of them, because they will look to press. Once we get behind the front three, I think we'll have opportunities to play through the thirds. Maybe, like the gaffer was saying there, exploit them in wide areas. But as long as we look after the ball and beat the press and control, we should be able to find the spaces in behind them then.
That change of manager as well, we said goodbye to Steve Bruce, of course, that era now ended. How much turbulence do you think that, because there's always the new manager bounce, isn't there? So how do we counter that tonight? Totally. It's as the gaffer said, they're going to be aggressive, so we just got to match them for the aggression, and to look after the ball, secure the ball, look forward, play forward and run forward. And basically first contact when, you know, set plays or anything coming in and around our box. Okay, all right. Well, we'll get more expert opinion from Swifty as we go through the course of tonight. You're watching Robins TV live from Ashton Gate. Now then, Bristol City women are having an incredible season at the moment. So far, a five-game unbeaten run was extended to 6 on Sunday with a 3-1 win over Sheffield United. And for those of you that missed it, here's the highlights.
Bristol City have missed that. An opportunity here for Sheffield United to build through midfield. Lovely ball over the top. Sweetman Kirk is away. Here's a save from the goalkeeper. Well, Bristol City unbeaten so far for the season, but they're not having things all their own way here. Sheffield United onto the ball again, and that's a nice effort, well held. Nice try from Rebecca Rayner. Shania Hales picks up the ball here. Chance to drive forward. It's still Hales going here. Hales on her own. Scores a beautiful solo goal. And Bristol City have the lead. Nice build-up play between Powell and Morgan here. And Powell continues to run. Scrambling forward, it's still Powell who delivers in, finds Hales. Mix up at the back, not quite as stylish as the first, but it has crept in, and Bristol City are now 2 ahead. Lovely ball over the top from Palmer. And she's picked out Harrison here. Strength and composure from Abby Harrison, who puts Bristol City 3 goals ahead. Nice touch from Lord Mears. Breaks forward here to find Sweetman Kirk in a good position. She can break beyond the defence. Deflection very nearly takes it beyond the keeper, and it's a very good save. Well, Bristol City look as though they will keep their place at the top of the table tonight, although they might have some late defending to do as Enderby streaks away. Well, it's only a consolation, but it's a brilliant strike from Enderby right at the end of the game.
Incredible stuff. The girls are back in action this Sunday at the HPC, hosting Crystal Palace. If you fancy going along, a 3 o'clock start, and you can buy your tickets online at bcfc.co.uk. And I have to say, I have the pleasure of stadium announcing for them this Sunday as well. So we're really looking forward to getting into BS8 and see you there, bcfc.co.uk for all the details. Right, still to come, highlights of a 2016 FA Cup humdinger featuring Kieran Agard and part 2 of Toby Osborne catching up with Naki Wells. Thankfully, he's put the golf clubs down for this one. Plus, of course, all the action from the Hawthorns for you Robins TV subscribers after 8 o'clock. It's all on the way after these short messages.
Might not wanna get close. We a little wild war, covered in tattoos. Run it up, taking all the views. Stepping on place, feeling the fear. I know you feeling it in the air. Whole squad wearing all black. Motivation's looking real bad. We back to the bone, raising a fire alone. We ain't never needed nobody. Give me 6 feet, this is my party. Ain't got no feelings, we heartless. Take a peek inside the darkness. Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming.
When the red, red robin comes bobbing along.
The Robins, who this season have gone bobbing along right into the 2nd division of the English Football League.
The Robins.
If you've ever been to Ashton Gate in Bristol, you'll know that is the signature tune of Bristol City, the Robins.
So we've got all this outdoor space here, and it's perfect for companies to come in, whether they're small or large. So we cater for maybe a team of 12 or a team of 800. They can come here, have a really positive experience and be rewarded for all their hard work in the office or whatever industry they're from.
As we've got such a big company, a lot of us don't see each other.
Being able for the first time to get everyone out together in one place doing an activity together was great for team bonding and boosting that morale.
We can hone in on specific skills such as communication, leadership, teamwork, resilience. Here we've got a 400-metre military assault course, which is fantastic for team building. If you want a morale booster, this is the place to come.
Welcome back to Robins TV, live from Ashton Gate for our coverage of the Sky Bet Championship clash between West Bromwich Albion and Bristol City. We'll continue our chat with Neil Swift, my guest here in the studio, on the way in just a couple of moments. But next tonight, it's back to Long Ashton Golf Club. For any of you that didn't see part one, Toby and Naki Wells went for a round. Toby ended up firing a golf ball into the side of a van, which was travelling along Clevedon Road. However, the man that's just been voted PFA Fans Player of the Month for September was having a chat with him in the clubhouse this time. So after a terrible back nine, we find them discussing Naki's first day at Bristol City and the influence of Sean Goater. Let's take a look.
I spoke with him once I kind of knew I was certain me and my family had made our decision. And things looked like that, they were going to happen. So I had a chat with him, and he just said, yeah, it's once you get down and you get playing, you get scoring, they love you. And he obviously had the luxury of enjoying that, playing regularly for Bristol City and scoring loads of goals for the football club. And he just said, look, it's a great place. I think when you get there, you realise, how amazing it is to live there and such a club on the rise. So. Yeah, it just eased my mind before I signed the dotted line. Yeah.
And you get back to Bermuda a lot, judging by sort of social media and stuff. Of course, you play for the national team. What is that like? Obviously, you've captained the national side as well. What is that like representing your country? Because I guess it's on the global stage a minnow when it comes to bigger sort of tournaments and stuff like that. But it must fill you with a lot of pride. Yeah, it does. It's. I can't say it's like the pinnacle of my football career because I'll be lying, but something inside me, it leaves me with such a good feel factor when I'm able to do well for my country, play and score in front of my family, friends and people. It gives me a feeling that I get when I've scored in a playoff final in front of 80,000 people, scoring at Ashton Gate in front of 20,000+, it gives me that, and that could be in front of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people, but just goes to show you what it's like to play and represent your country. And yeah, it's an honour. It's a little bit unique in that regard. It's probably obviously not the same as representing England to that capacity, but yeah, it's where I'm from, and when I get a chance to play, I do love it. And are you sort of very close to your family? A lot of them back in Bermuda, your dad and people like that as well? Yeah, my mum, my dad, everyone's in Bermuda. Only me and my wife are here, and my 2 boys are here. Everybody else is, all my entire family are back in Bermuda, so yeah, that's home. So you're 32 now. Mm-hmm. You seem to be at the sort of height of your game. You never seem to tire in matches whatsoever. I was actually on the pitch side the other night, and Nigel Pearson, I think, said to you he was telling you to press or something and gamble. I think when you were playing, but your energy levels don't seem to drop through the 90 minutes, rather like Andy Wyman, for example. Do you have to sort of do anything different now you're at sort of this stage of your career, or do you feel like you've got plenty of years left to play football? It seems like you do. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I'll be delusional to believe. And is it annoying when people ask you that as well? Yeah, I think as well. I think it's a few things. I think obviously I'm 32 years of age. I played a lot of football as well. But then there's this side of I've never really had a bad injury. I don't really like to talk like, but that's helped. For example, last year I probably didn't play much, so that wear and tear is probably helped me in a way or shape or form. But I do feel great. My numbers are still as high as anybody's at the football club, even at my age. So I think you were up there with the pre-season testing, weren't you, and everything? I think somebody said. Physically, yeah. Thankfully, if you go and look at the chart at the training ground, I'll be in the top 3 of every one of the categories. Get that in there. Yeah, you get that in there. But but no, I just I think genetically I've been lucky in that aspect. I'm very athletic, which is part of my game. And until that kind of deteriorates, I still feel like I'm in my prime. I know the age probably don't say that, but with the experience I have and the fact that I'm still able to do everything physically as to my best capability as I was able to maybe at 24, 25, where most players are, I don't see why I couldn't show and be at my best right now. So
I'm showing that at the minute, and I just want that to continue, yeah.
Oh, there you go, Naki Wells and Toby Osborne. And there he is, just behind us, warming up. Lovely guy, always seems lovely.
Positive, always positive around the place. Absolute pleasure to coach when he comes and plays with us in the 21s. So yeah, it's been really good. Really good for the boys as well.
Don't know about the haircut though, that's the only thing I'd say. But I'm probably not one to talk, to be honest. Very good. Okay, right, next tonight. What was 2016 famous for? Pokemon Go. Do you remember when everybody was obsessed with that? The Rio Olympics with that green swimming pool? The all-girls Ghostbusters movie? Well, no, it was a certain FA Cup tie featuring Kieran Agard as the hero. Some happy memories, some happy memories. Yeah. Now then, the gaffer said in his post-match interview, and I quote, "I'm frustrated by the fashion in which we conceded the goals after the Millwall game." So, Swifty, what do we need to do to prevent any repeat performances tonight?
Again, it's just blocking runners, blocking the runs of their threats, and looking to get the first contact on those balls, basically. Because the set plays, we work on them, we rehearse them. But it's just making that first contact, blocking runners of potential dangers, and yeah, just being first to the ball. And then second phase to block anything on the edge of the box and try and turn a set play into a counter-attack. That's the ideal way.
I think it's frustrating, isn't it, when you see some wonderful moments like in the Preston game, and you sort of like that high press, and you sort of see that sort of football that we like playing. And it's frustrating. I guess consistency is key, isn't it?
It is, and confidence is a wonderful thing. So that confidence is there, and that leads to players playing with that little bit of freedom. So I think a couple of good results under our belts, and we'll probably be back on that, bravery trip again, where we can actually express ourselves and play forward with a little bit more passion and a little bit more desire to, hurt teams and really put them to the sword, really.
I guess that comes with less pressure. We always do seem at the moment to be having to prove a point. We were having to prove a point at the Preston game. We were having to prove a point at the Millwall game. We've got to prove a point tonight. Do you think then perhaps if we can get that off our back, the lads perhaps feel a bit freer? It
is. Like you say, confidence is everything, and momentum also. So you start winning games and it becomes a habit. And it also, the downside is it's a habit, the opposite side, when you start losing or drawing games. So that, again, it's confidence, get that through the roof, breeds confidence. Look forward, play forward and run forward. That's all we look to do. We should get something from it.
Great stuff. Thanks very much. Right, we've got to say goodbye to our viewers on Facebook and YouTube, bcfc.co.uk, if you want to see the rest.